Hi everyone, it's Lance. I'm still here. I just wanted to say it's been a while, I know. I took some time off from doing videos to get a little bit more in shape
Yeah,
and
baby.
to focus a little bit more on selling my artwork. But I'm back at it again, and I'm going to show you a Dutch pour today. It's my take on a Dutch pour. I'm going to show you some things about paint mixing. We're going to talk about that. And I'm going to show you some ideas for how we're going to blow this out. And it's a split base Dutch pour. We're going to have two different colors for the base, and you'll see how that all works out in just a minute. Another video that I have coming up is my take on the Dustpan Pour that Sarah Mack has kind of made famous and kind of made popular right now, and I do a little bit of a different take on it.
You know how I like to do.
And I'm going to show you in that video how to use some dry pigments to create a little bit of different types of ambiance and different types of effects after your painting has dried. And we're going to talk a little bit about resin and how I resin my pieces, and selling, because I sell artwork at a place called Barn and Beach in Southport, North Carolina, near the beach, where we have a vacation beach rental. And I've had some success there, so I'm going to talk about that in that video, so be on the lookout for it. And I will also discuss creative ways maybe that you haven't thought of to sell your artwork. But let's get started on this Dutch pour.
Let's go.
I am doing this split base Dutch pour with a pearlized dark blue by Master's Touch, and my white is Artist Loft Soft Body White. And you might ask yourself, what is a Dutch pour? A Dutch pour was actually invented by Renske Dona, the Dutch artist Renske Dona, and made popular. It's a fluid art technique where your paints are pretty thin, they're mixed with a pouring medium, your paints are, and you usually have some line or bands of paint that are laid out in a design and then blown out with either something like a hair dryer or a straw or an airbrush. And the blowout creates a beautiful kind of organic leaf-like or petal-like design when the paints are blown out. Now, Renske Dona, she only mixes her paints with water, but she's using Amsterdam paints, and that's a pretty higher end quality brand of paint and has a pretty strong and high quality acrylic binder to their acrylic paints, so they don't really break apart. But you have to kind of watch if you were to use water as your only means of kind of diluting the paint, that typically with a lot of other paints that are not maybe as high a quality, adding only water, if there's too much water added to the paint, can cause the paint to break down, and then you get this kind of gritty look to your paints. So what I'm doing is I am using American Floetrol and my paints, and kind of like a 4:1 ratio, and I use a little bit of Golden's heavy gel gloss as well.
Oopsie.
Clumsy me, I dropped a little bit of paint because I'm drizzling the paint to create my lines with my stir stick, and not to worry, because if that happens, you just take a little bit of your background paint, in this case the white, and just kind of drizzle a little bit of, do a little dollop over the top. Thumbs up, all good, and not to worry. It's not such a big disaster if that happens. And I'll do this a few other times when I'm putting down my colors, and in some places I'm not really that worried about it, because when I do the blowout, you won't see those dots if it's going to be close to how this is, you know, the leaf shapes that are being blown out will take care of that. So you don't have to be too worried about little accidents that happen like that. But if it is someplace it's going to be in one of the blue or the white areas, then yeah, just take some of your base color and just put a little dollop over it, and voila, you can forget about it. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my colors and who inspired them. And Rhonda Thomason is somebody that I've been watching, and she does beautiful blowouts with Dutch Pour, and I've really enjoyed learning from her. And so the color palette that I chose was inspired by her, and I've talked to her a little bit actually on the phone, and she's shared ideas with me, and she's the one who I was inspired to use her recipe for the Floetrol and the Golden's heavy gel gloss medium. And so I will leave that in the description box, but that is her recipe that I tried, and I wanted that because in this blowout of the Dutch Pour, I didn't want a lot of cells. I didn't want it to be heavy on the cells, and sometimes when you're using metallic paints, the cells will kind of pop up more than, you know, what I wanted for the look of this. I wanted a more wispy, and you can see it there, it's more wispy and more subtle, and I'm getting kind of the blowout that kind of disappears like smoke into the different colors of the background, both the white and the blue. And so thank you, Rhonda, for that, and have to give flowers where flowers are due. And you can check her YouTube out, and I'll leave a link to her in my description box. And I really enjoy watching her. She does, I didn't do this as thick as she does, and I love how she controls her blowouts. I didn't use a diffuser on this, so I was going a little rogue, and so I knew it was going to be a little harder for me to control. But I do like what I got with my blow dryer without my diffuser on the end. And I'm going to use the little mini blower that you can get from Tracy Reed, and it has a diffuser attachment on it. So I knew in the end I'd be able to kind of sharpen up my leaf shapes and kind of, you know, help fully realize them more with that little mini blower. But I did like kind of what I got initially from, you know, using my large hair dryer without the diffuser on it. It's just a little bit, you know, more unpredictable sometimes. But as you can see there, now I've got my little mini blower, and as I said, that's from Tracy Reed. And you could purchase that little mini blower from Tracy Reed's Etsy shop, and I'll leave that in my description box as well. If you're having fun with me on this Dutch Pour journey, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and when you do, ring the bell so you'll be alerted when I upload new content. And give this video a thumbs up, and reach out to me, leave me a comment. I really enjoy hearing from you. As I was saying, I'll leave a link to Rhonda Thomason's YouTube channel in my description box. She was the inspiration. I kind of based some of my colors off that. I use some vibrant flat colors in my Dutch Pours because I feel like Rhonda uses lovely, beautiful pigments, and she's heavy on pigments, and because she loves the sparkle, and I do too. I used some metallic paints in this, though I didn't really go mixing pigments, but I find that when I do this, if I do all pigments, the design, while it be very sparkly in some light, and when it hits other angles of light and you're not getting that direct light, it kind of goes darker. And so I want the image to kind of stand out, and just adding a few, it's just a pro tip from me as far as what I like to see. You know, no right or wrong way to do things, but I just like to have a few more vibrant, flat, non-metallic colors in there, so that I find that it kind of keeps the design kind of bright and vibrant, no matter what angle you're looking at the piece. But Rhonda does some stunning stuff. I really love how she does blowouts. She does her blowouts more solid, leaf-like shapes when they're blown out, and they're just gorgeous. So please check her YouTube channel out. And she's such a very nice, caring, and giving person. And really like you a lot, Rhonda. And shout out to you. And I also like to watch Becca Harkins of Becca Harkins Art. I just really like kind of how she breaks things down and explains things. I like her style of kind of what she does with her Dutch pours, and you should check her out. If you don't know Becca, you should check her out and see for yourself. I'll leave a link to her page in my description box as well. You can see there I used my mini blower to kind of catch some of the bands of paint that are still there, and this is what I'm doing on the other side too, so that I kind of create a little bit more of this leaf shape, kind of framing the contrasting sides of the dark blue and the white negative space, and I'm just trying to blow things out a little bit more, get a little bit more wispy. I like kind of around the edges how when you blow it into that darker background, it gives a more kind of wispy, ethereal, kind of smoky, kind of like smoke fading off into the distance. And I like what I'm seeing, and I liked these colors, and as I said, I used some of the ideas of kind of Rhonda Thomason's color palette for the colors that I chose. And now you're going to see it fly over. You can see that beautiful color from Master's Touch. I really love that pearlized dark blue. And you can see the sparkle in the metallics that I used. And just love how wispy and ethereal looking Dutch pours are. That's what I really love about it. And leave me a comment, tell me what you like about Dutch pours as well. But I just I've tried to give you some ideas of what I do and some ideas of people to watch that I just like to watch. I know there are other people like Renz Cadona and Olga Sobi that do a lot of Dutch pours, and Canella, but these are people that I really like, some of my friends, and some people that I just really admire, and just thought I would share that. So be sure and check their channels out as well. I ended up being pretty pleased with this Dutch pour. I haven't done a lot of these, but I really did like doing this one, and I felt like it was kind of elegant looking. And let me know what you think, and let me know how you think I did. Be sure to be on the lookout for my upcoming video that I talked about earlier in this video for my dustpan pour that I was inspired by Sarah Mac for, but that I do my own twist. And I'll share some ideas about resin and my resin process, and talk to you a little bit about Southport and ways that you can sell your fluid art as well. So I want to just thank you for hanging out with me for this Dutch pour. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I see you back here again real soon.